Doing some gardening. Look at that beauty. There's quite a few in the pond now. Beautiful. Whoops. Get one. Catch one, Lou. Catch him. God, scared them away. Well, I think it's here. End of February nearly. Finally, 3 sunny days on the trot. The woodpeckers are pecking. The snowdrops in our little woodland garden at the Falconry Centre, they're out, looking stunning. Goodness me, I worked in my own garden for the first time in ages yesterday, wearing a t-shirt, and I don't like the cold, and I wasn't cold. Amazing. A feeling of spring in the air. I don't know why. It seems like it's been one of the greyest, dampest, just wall-to-wall greyest winters for quite some time. There is some more rain forecast, but there's more sunshine forecast, and it's great to feel spring and see it unfolding before our eyes. Have a look at the pond. So my mini wildlife pond at home is now full of frogs, common frogs, and here at the Falconry Centre in our little woodland garden we've got a little newt pond. It's not ideal for great crested newts, but the smooth newts love it. But big old trees. Failed to keep all the leaves out. I forgot to net it this year. They sediment up, the leaves rot down, and that gradually sucks oxygen from your pond. So I'm going to actually, probably a pond this size, about once every 4 years, you're going to end up dredging it out, refreshing it, so it's not oxygen deficient. So I'm probably going to have to do that this spring. We'll just get it out. Obviously it disturbs the newts that are going to breed in there, but you've got to bite the bullet and do it at some point. Too late in the autumn. If you've got frogs, they want to hibernate at the bottom of the pond. If you take all the sediments out, it's no good for them. Too early in the spring, you might have frogs or newts spawning. It's a tricky one, but I'm going to crack on, hopefully, and get this done soon. I'm just going to empty it out, replant it, crack on, and let it redevelop. But it'll be fine. I've been doing this for a long, long time, but for sure, it does disturb them. Sue and Roy have been up, and they've cleared out the weedy bed here in the woodland garden. This is woodland plants. Now, what's a weed and what's wildlife? That's for wild flowers. But basically, we try and keep mostly wildflowers in here. There's a few cultivated Christmas roses, but this will spring up again, full of insect-happy, insect-generous planting for sure. But it's looking lovely. Hard work from those brilliant guys. So we finished at the Falconry Centre. Now, do not tell Jackie. I might have to go and get a sneaky McDonald's, which is rubbish food, I know, or some might say. I'm starving. I've not eaten all day. The day's flown by. I've got to go home now. I've got to do a little bit in the reptile room. Not too much, but I've got to start getting the animals ready for tonight's Cub Scout talk. So something we do quite a lot of is evening talks, whether it's Cub Scouts or WI or bird watching clubs, all kinds of things like that, as well as the sort of the daytime hours. So at the moment at the Falconry Centre, my input is just ticking over. We've had a team meeting ahead of this year. Things we're doing well, but some of the things we need to improve on our experience days. That's all part of it. So hopefully this year will be easier for everyone involved at Icarus Falconry. And that's what I've always tried to do there, is make things easy. Now, nothing's easy when you work with animals, but you can make heavy weather of a job, or if we can get routines and sort of disciplines in place, streamline what we do, often just having some handy equipment maybe, but streamline what we do, a team working together. When it's a small team, that's very important, and hopefully this year will be a little bit easier, because one thing we're not doing, our weekend openings to the public, we're not opening on Saturday in 2025, we're opening Sundays and bank holiday Mondays only. So that'll give us the ability to run Saturday morning experiences, which a lot of people have missed out on in the last few years, have not been available due to the weekend openings, but lots to do. But Jackie and I have just come back from a weekend away with little Lily. It's a bit of an anniversary next weekend, so Jackie and I are going to have a couple of days away, and then that's it. Difficult then to get away for the weekend for really the whole of summer. So I've got March to do the real winter renovations. We've left it late this year ahead of the first weekend opening, which is at Easter. So for now, go home, shower, smart clothes, get the animals ready for an evening talk. Tomorrow at a regular school, the following day at a local school. I'm hoping to get out with a friend on Thursday afternoon with his eagle, and then that will be the end of my proper falconry for the whole of this year, or rather this season, starting again in October. Friday, fingers crossed, Jackie and I, by the time you watch this, we've had a couple of days away, and then really the workload is going to ramp up. Something annoyingly that happened last week, I lost the wind muffler from the Hohem microphone. I had to order some new ones, a specific fit. Look at that, but we've actually got some more, hopefully. A bit more video again, with a little bit more sound improvement. Thank goodness they do supply them separately. Very cute, aren't they? Do you think this snake's gravid? Look at that. I've had 100 eggs this year. How ridiculous. Absolutely huge. False water cobra. Big old girl. Looks like we'll have some available again in 2025. Only the one pair nowadays, and only the one clutch. Fingers crossed. We certainly won't be trying to double clutch this animal, because that amount of eggs is going to deplete her body. She's going to need plenty of food, fattening up, hydration and calcium, plenty of stuff to put condition back on when she's produced. The amount of eggs she looks like she's carrying now. You know you're getting unsociable when you see this many people and you just think, oh, it's packed. Just when you want a peaceful walk, here's not the place. Not when I've got the dogs. Dogs everywhere, people everywhere. Grumpy old man. Having to go further and further away from civilization to get a bit of peace. going to the sea. Seashells? Lots of seashells. What's that? What's that? Lily, what's that? What's that? No, give it a poke. Give it a poke. Eggs. You say eggs? Whelk eggs. Do your best dancing.
Like this little, go. Lily, you're dancing. Look.
Well, we've gone away for our 29th anniversary. We're going somewhere in England we've never been, but we've stopped at Royal Tunbridge Wells on the way, and we're letting the dogs out in Hurst Wood, which has had a bit of water. Very muddy. There's a lovely stream down there taking a lot of the water away. But look at that. That is one muddy woodland. So dogs having a run. It's like spring. Haven't even got a coat on. First time for ages. I've sure got my wellies on. Look at that. Wow. So somewhere quite tranquil. On our way to another part of England we've never visited before. It's the last weekend away because the summer openings are just around the corner. It's actually nice to not just hear the babbling brook, but the birds singing in the woods. Definitely a bit of spring now, so we've supposedly got forecasts about a week of dry, sunny weather. Now it is still the turn of the month, February to March, but slightly cold nights. But the sunshine has heat in it now. The birds are singing. That gives us a bit of like, oh, buoys me up, knowing we're going to have a week of sun, or rather a week of dry, because this stuff definitely needs to do one now. Everywhere it's muddy, makes it hard to work at work. The Falconry Centre looks a bit muddy at this time of year. It needs time to heal up and get that grass growing and all looking beautiful. So it was in Spain in the Christmas break, and the celandines were out there in the countryside, and now first day of March, the sun is hot on your back, cold when it's not there, and the dandelions and the celandines are out in the countryside. The onion stinkers are out in the woods, but they're not flowering, but they're up. The bluebells are up, but they're not flowering yet, but they're up. Spring is definitely springing now. So when you come to somewhere in England that's so rural, with a real varied landscape, you do see that it's as beautiful as anywhere in the world. The wildlife and countryside is magnificent. Maybe less species than if you're in the tropics for sure. But what a beautiful place to be. And here, there's no one else but us two around. Gorgeous. So we're at National Trust Bateman's, the home and sort of childhood home, I think, of Rudyard Kipling. To be honest, we've paid £4 to park, but we're not paying to go in the actual house and grounds. We've paid to park and then walk around all the woods, the streams and the grounds outside the gardens. Why? Because we're skinflints? Not really. Because everyone else has paid to go round the actual gardens and the house. We wanted to walk our dogs as a number one priority. We don't want people around, we just like that really. So look at these, it's usually a good sign of good air quality. Really good lichen growth on the trees. Never been down this way, near Royal Tunbridge Wells. We're south of there, not very far where we're staying, to be honest. What a beautiful part of England. It is hilly, it is mega rural, lots of streams and waterways. It looks like Falconry, Goshawk heaven. But one thing I've noticed is it's certainly, although it's an area of outstanding natural beauty, it's certainly an area where Jackie and I will never be able to afford to live. goodness gracious me, I've never seen so many big, beautiful, detached houses with huge frontages and gardens. And the area makes it a price tag to match. But certainly, those of you that do live down this way, what a beautiful part of the world. Stunning. No wind muffler again. They're in the van. I'm sorry. Look at this. Just outside Eastbourne, walking on a track, parked in a little lay-by. Packed. It's a Sunday morning. The town's really busy with vehicles. No one here. I feel like I've waited ages for a spring day and spring weather. Can't believe how good it feels to be out in the countryside, exploring somewhere new. And I really think I need to try and get Jackie to take me somewhere later today where we can find some adders, but we'll see what she wants to do. Zoomed in quite a bit. Something you don't get a lot of in Northamptonshire, but you certainly do here, and that's mistletoe. So you know what it's for at Christmas. And here it is growing parasitically in clumps on all of those trees over there. Beautiful.
say some weird and wonderful things is David Attenborough on our travels. Well, look at that. That is really good. Just random, that is. Just seeing it random driving down a back street.